Hello and happy Wednesday. It's so good to be with you today. Welcome to another edition of Networking Know How, where we help you network more stress free and effectively by having meaningful conversations like we do inside our Down and Dirty Networking online community. I'm Laura Merlando, the Stress Commando, and we've got a great episode today. We're talking about the secret hacks that you can use for the holiday to really have meaningful conversations. So we're talking about holiday networking, secret hacks today. So get up and chat and let me know where you're watching from because this is a conversation. So I'm really glad to have you here. And today is really important because we just had our member event. We meet every Wednesday of every third Wednesday of the month, and we had a great conversation that tested one of the hacks out that I'm going to be able to share with you that you can then use yourself. So if you have not yet connected with us wherever you're watching, make sure that you follow for notifications. But let's kind of dig into it. So it's hard to believe, and we were talking about this at our member event. It's hard to believe that it's already time for Thanksgiving next week. It's kind of crazy, or maybe it's just me, but it feels like things are just going really fast. And if you've been tuning in, you know that there's been a lot of lifey happening between being caregiver, losing my mom, having a fire at the house, which is why I'm staying at my mom's house right now while they're taking care of ours. But we still, time keeps moving forward and we still have the holidays coming up. And so, how do you navigate that? So, one of the things that I've found and that I've heard from a lot of the people in the mastermind and that I'm a member of, but also in our Down and Dirty networking community, and even some of the clients that I service as a marketing consultant, it's overwhelm. People are feeling really overwhelmed right now. And one of the ways and one of the antidotes for you to be able to overcome overwhelm, which seems to be on overdrive, like overwhelm on overwhelm, seems to happen during the holidays. Here's how we do it. So, secret hack number one is going to be to make sure you're embracing relational networking. Now that may sound, if you're new to watching this or new to our concept of relational networking, that might sound a little bit odd simply because the default understanding of the word networking is to do things transactionally. Hi, my name is, and buy my stuff. In other words, there's some kind of a pitch or an offer and ask for a job or referral or lead or client. But what we're talking about is, and what we're founded on is relational networking. And this is about having a meaningful conversation to learn from and about someone to build lasting and authentic relationships. When you adopt a relational networking mindset, everything changes. Your home life changes, the way you interact with cashiers as you're checking out, getting all of your goods for your holiday meal, whatever the thing is that you're doing and you're out and about in your day, everything changes because you're focused on learning from and about someone. So, the tip that I would tell you is you want to embrace relational networking and really go for the meaningfulness. And the fastest way to do that is to treat everyone like they're your best friend, even if you just met them. So if you happen to be at a holiday gathering and you're not really sure who everybody is, just treat everybody like a best friend. How would you treat a best friend? How would you talk to them? I don't know about you, but for me, I would make sure that people were, hey, is there anything that you need? Or, I see your drink. You could use, more water or whatever. You would try to almost play hostess like a best friend would take care of, their best friend, just how they would do that. And it just breaks the ice, so to speak, and it makes things so much easier, less awkward. It just bypasses all of the superficial and gets right into meaningful. So number one, focus on relational networking and really adopt that relational networking mindset. Number two, secret hack for the holidays is talk less, question more. We believe so firmly about this. We have made this a core value here at Down and Dirty Networking. And so, what we mean by this is questions really open the conversation up for more meaningfulness. Now, I'm not talking about how are you, what's new with you lately, things that are typical kind of, hey, I'm at a holiday party, mixer, family gathering type of thing. Things that are absolutely more meaningful. So, I'm going to give you a couple questions that might help you out. Now, my all time favorite question that works no matter what in any situation is thanks to speaker Amanda Gore, and it's what's the best thing that's happened to you recently? What's the best thing that's happened to you recently? It requires a positive answer. And you get to know a little bit more about them. And if you're talking less and questioning more, you're going to ask follow up questions. You're going to be present. You're not going to be thinking about the next thing to say. You're really going to lean in and be a super sleuth to learn more about what they just said, which is exactly the basis of active listening. And so, what's the best thing that's happened to you recently is a fantastic question to have in your arsenal. It can never be overused. I adore this question. When I feel awkward or my brain just goes to, goes blank and things fall out of my head, that's the question I always lean on. So, I would encourage you to do the same. Now, the second question is one we used in our member event today. And one of the things I think is really kind of interesting is today, or maybe you didn't know. If you know, you can get up and chat and let me know. If you follow what the national observances are, especially if you're here in the United States, do you know what today is? Do you know what today's National Observance Day is? All right, I'll go ahead and spill the beans. Today is National Absurdity Day, which I think is kind of funny, or maybe the history of that. And I haven't looked up the history. I guess I need to. But I loved this question, and it was a great kind of icebreaker question that led into really meaningful conversation in our member event to get things kicked off. Is what's something absurd that you've done or that you would like to do? And what started out as but it was the first thing that they popped in their head. It's like whatever's the first thing that pops in your head, no bad answer. And so people started sharing, and it was typically things they had done. So most all of us answered what we had done that was just so absurd. And there were so many follow-up questions within that. So then you ask the next question, well, what absurd thing have you not yet done that you would love to do? And that was a whole nother conversation. Like, really, would you? And you just go deeper with it. The vibrational energy kept increasing and increasing, increasing with this conversation. And for the record, that was only the beginning of our event. That wasn't even the actual activity, the conversation activity, but it was just so interesting and we enjoyed it so thoroughly. So I encourage you, you can always say as you're having these, get togethers. I know one of our members is having a get together tonight. She was thinking she might use that question tonight. Just use the question, what's the best thing that's happened to you? Or, hey, today was National Absurdity Day. What's the most absurd thing you've done in your past? Or what's the most absurd thing that you would like to do that you have not, yet done? Those are great questions. And these will work even into next week. You can say, you know what? I heard a crazy question last week. Did you know it was National Absurdity Day? What's the most absurd thing you've done in your past? What's the most absurd thing you would like to do? These questions are going to work. They're going to open up the conversation. And what's so fascinating between both of those questions, whether you're asking the best thing that's happened to him recently or you're asking the absurdity question, you're going to learn more about people that you think you know really well. You are. It happened in the member event. So I promise you, there was someone I know really well, and they answer this. I kind of know that they want to do this, but I'd never heard things that they want to do with this kind of conviction. So I would encourage you, it's a great question to ask, and I'll spoiler alert, the person that was surprising to me, it was my own husband. So yes, I know my husband pretty well. That's why relational networking is so good and why it's so valuable. Even with your kids, your spouses, significant others, family members, friends, it doesn't matter, or people you are meeting for the first time that are new best friends that you're treating instantly like instant new best friends. These questions really open things up. And it was so interesting to hear this conversation, to find what people had done that was absurd or what they wanted to do. I'm like, oh no, I would never do that. Or me neither. It was fantastic and fun. And the vibrational energy just kept increasing. So if the holidays typically gives you stress, if family get-togethers, company get-togethers, holiday parties possibly can give you stress. Or if you're just so overwhelmed, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm kind of over it. Or maybe you're an introvert like me. You're thinking, man, having to do this is really going to drain my energy. I promise you, if you engage in relational networking, if you talk less and question more, and if you leverage these two questions I just gave with you, what's the best thing that's happened to you recently? And hey, did you hear it was National Absurdity Day? What's the most absurd thing that you've done? Or what's the most absurd thing you would like to do as a follow-up question? This will open up the conversation, and I cannot wait to hear what you learn. So have fun asking these questions in the next week, and let me know what you think. Let me know what feedback, how these worked for you, what you learned. I think this could be really fun, and I hope you have as much fun with this as we do in our Down and Dirty Networking community, because it was amazing today. And like I said, that was only the very beginning. So have fun with this secret holiday hack. Use this ongoing. This is something you can use beyond next week, but it'll get you kickstarted as we're rolling into the holiday season. And I think there's something like a handful of holidays between the end of November and the beginning of January. So we want to make sure that as everybody that might be navigating all of these things, this helps you network more effectively, less stress free, and above all, have more meaningfulness and connectedness with increasing your vibrational energy. All right, thanks so much for watching live. And for those of you watching on replay, I appreciate you. If you really like what you're learning and you'd like to know some more tips, I encourage you to look for the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel, and you will see, subscribe to the channel. You will see curated playlists based on topics. You can find something there that will really fit the need that you're looking for to help you have more meaningful conversations, more effective networking where you don't feel like it's a chore, you actually enjoy it. So I check out our YouTube channel for Down and Dirty Networking. You'll be able to see that there. And make sure to follow the Down and Dirty Networking LinkedIn and Facebook pages. If you want to choose just one, then do the LinkedIn page. But we post newsletters, tips, articles all the time to really give you inspiration to network more in a relational way and less of a transactional way. So to help increase the meaningfulness, we just dropped our Networking Boost newsletter today. So you can find that over on LinkedIn and Facebook. And tomorrow we've got a really great article that's going to drop that will help you out too. So make sure to check the Down and Dirty Networking LinkedIn, Facebook pages, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And make sure to tune in every Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I go live with another edition of Networking Know-How so that we can help you network more stress-free like we do in our Down and Dirty Networking online community. All right, until next week, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And until we talk again, happy networking.